since this was the only attempt, I did not want to leave any stones unturned, and that really was a difficult position to be in, because I did not know what I was doing was enough or not, because I did not have enough time. I did not have any more attempts. Since a lot of our seniors had switched, but given the selection criteria had changed, a lot of them also said that the final selections might not be as favorable for freshers. I come from Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh. I did my schooling here and I took commerce as a part of my class 12 subjects, and I completed my grade 12th from CBSE in 2020. I decided to go for IPMAT because both the IPM programs back then, only IIM Indore and IIM Rohtak offered them. They appealed to me a lot given the diverse nature of the curriculum, and there was no specific specialization towards which they educated the students. So I felt it was sort of a perfect fit for me. I did not really want to get into a very traditional honors degree program right after grade 12. So therefore I started preparing for IPMAT. Even though I did not have mathematics in my plus 2, Quants was proving to be a pain point for me, and this was true through IPM as well as CAT as well. But I sailed through it and I was able to qualify both the exams. I applied to the IPM programs at IIM Rohtak and IIM Indore as my primary goals after 12th standard. I felt that they were a very good head start to my career, given that I was not very sure about which specialization to pick either. Plus, being a part of an IIM for an entirety of 5 years was a really nice idea to me. IPM from IIM Indore has been one of the greatest experiences I feel undergraduate studies can offer. Given the highly diverse nature of the curriculum, we were studying philosophy one fine morning and the next class would be of something like differential calculus. And since we have a thorough understanding of fields like psychology, philosophy, political science, sociology, plus very strong theoretical foundations in economics, statistics and mathematics, that makes us a perfect fit for an MBA classroom, I feel. IIM Indore campus is the biggest in all of old IIMs, I believe. Enjoying that life and interacting with the best profs in the country, with a lot of IIM interactions, apart from the sort of industry interactions and the exposure which we get, it has been a well all-round experience, I would say. My profile and academic background would be that I am a 998 liberal arts female fresher. Not exactly liberal arts, all IIMs consider our background as management. I really like music. I have been trained in Indian classical vocal music and I keep trying to learn instruments on my own as well. Music and books were my primary source of strength during my preparation for CAT 2022. So I'll just walk you guys quickly with my timeline of CAT preparation in 2022. The exam was scheduled for late November and I started thinking seriously about CAT prep only around April-May, and that was the time when I was doing my internship with the SRF Foundation at Gurgaon. I had borrowed a few books from my seniors who had moved to other IIMs in the previous years. Some of the seniors I was really close to were at IIM Bangalore. But after the notification for the selection criteria came out, there was a change in IIM Bangalore selection criteria this year, and that really put the odds against freshers being selected at IIMB. But even then I decided to give it a shot. I started preparing properly around June, July of 2022. Since I was a part of a pretty hectic program, I did not have a very set schedule with respect to how our college classes would be. Because at IIM Indore, even with IPM, we follow the trimester system which is followed with the regular MBA programs at other IIMs. So because of that, I could not really afford a full-fledged proper study program. I only purchased mock test series from IMS and Career Launcher, and I only solved mocks, and the rest of the material which I referred to, mostly for quants because that was proving to be my weaker areas, was through Arun Sharma's quantitative aptitude books and through YouTube videos. So I started off with my mock tests. I wasn't really scoring well. My raw scores were in the range of say around 60 to 70 at the earlier stages, and that was primarily because I was scoring really high in verbal, but my quant scores were pulling it down. So since verbal ability was my forte, I have been an avid reader since school, and because in IPM we cover a lot of readings with respect to international relations, political science, philosophy, the reading comprehension area was not really an issue for me. The major difficulty came up with quantitative aptitude because I was more used to algebra by now. We did calculus in IPM, and I had to go back all the way to grade 10th level arithmetic questions all over again. And because of that, I was not really scoring very well in mock test because of time constraint, and I wasn't really able to manage 22 questions in 40 minutes. So I started with Arun Sharma. I solved the level of difficulty 1 questions. I thought I could do something like that, but then I realized it was not possible to cover all the topics in the time constraint which I was operating within. So I decided to cherry pick the areas which I was strong at and to get the accuracy level as high as possible in those, and completely leave out the other areas, or just do the bare minimum of those areas, so that if a couple of sitters just come out by chance, I am able to solve them. For DILR, I have always liked puzzle solving. I have really liked solving sudokus, crosswords, etc. I also found a couple of more games like Kakuro, and I installed all of those apps, and in my free time I would just keep solving them. Apart from that, I thought that set selection was the only thing which was working out well for me. If I could not figure out a logic of a set after looking at it, staring at it for even 2 to 3 minutes, I was not really going to give it a try, because that would just lead to a waste of time. A lot of times I felt like all the preparation which I was doing was going to go to waste, because a lot of our peers, not like, even though many of them were preparing for CAT, but not everybody was putting their 100% into it. Most of them were giving it just for the sake of it, because we did have IIM Indore as a backup option, and not really a lot of people can say that. And at many a time it also felt like a trivial effort, given that we were already in a pretty good place, so why to try to switch out of it? Since this was the only attempt, I did not want to leave any stones unturned, and that really was a difficult position to be in, because I did not know what I was doing was enough or not, because I did not have enough time. I did not have any more attempts. Since a lot of our seniors had switched, but given the selection criteria had changed, a lot of them also said that the final selections might not be as favorable for freshers. Given this sort of an uncertainty, and I really did want to switch to another B school for my MBA. I was not really keen on staying at IIM Indore. Having spent 3 years there already, I really wanted to make that switch. The only thing that helped at that time would be talking to my seniors, to the seniors who had stayed here and to the seniors who switched to other B schools. I feel I was really lucky. There was a huge element of luck on D-Day as well, because the day when I went to appear for CAT, my health was not really good. I was not very sure whether I would be able to perform at my best efficiency. My mock scores earlier also had not been very stellar. I had been scoring above the 90th to 95th percentile in SimCats, but I was never a part of that All India Rankers list, or I was never a part of the board which they published at the end of every proctored mock test. I just went in thinking, what is the worst that could happen? I would have to stay here, and even though that was not an outcome I completely was looking forward to, it was my worst case scenario sort of a thing. So my final score in CAT was 113, which gave me a percentile of 99.93, and I was able to secure interview shortlists from all the IIMs, the ones which I had applied to, which were IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, Lucknow, Kozhikode and Indore. I also had interview shortlists from FMS. I ended up appearing for almost all of them, and as of now I have converted IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore and Lucknow.